Not long ago, here in China, the whole internet is blowing up about bayberries being soaked in chemicals in Zhangzhou city, vendors dunking them in preservatives and artificial sweeteners. Locals won't touch the stuff, it's all shipped out to other cities through online sales and wholesale. And once the news broke, every bayberry farmer and seller across the country got hit. Sales tanked, and they are stuck with rotting fruit. I still remember the melamine tainted milk powder scandal back in 2008, the gut oil, and the dyed steamed buns in 2010. And I never forget that rat hate found in a university cafeteria in 2023. These food safety disasters keep popping up, fresh in our minds. Makes you wonder how many more hazards are still hiding in the shadows. Yes, angry. We got every right to be angry. But the real question is, how do we actually fix this basic necessity, food safety? After the bayberry chemical story broke, they punished 5 buying station vendors and 23 government inspectors. A single official notice, a few arrests. Does this really rebuild the trust overnight? I watched an interview where one vendor said flat out, "Everyone else does this, why am I the only one getting exposed?" That sent chills down my spine. This isn't some isolated case. How did soaking bayberries in chemicals become the industry norm? From the tree to your mouth, a single bayberry passes through farmers, wholesalers, distributors, e-commerce platforms, and retail stores. The chain is way too long. Responsibility just gets lost along the way. Everyone in that chain is chasing their own profit. Bayberries are delicate, naked fruits. They spoil easily during transport. Starting from the first buyer, everyone has got a reason to take tricks, cut losses, make the fruit sweeter, improve the looks. Farmers start picking unripe berries. Buyers soak those unripe ones in chemicals to sweeten and preserve them. If you don't play along, you cannot compete. Doing wrong becomes the only option. Doing right might mean going under. And consumers, with no way to tell the difference, you would just pick the cheap ones that look the same in photos. So everyone, including the consumer, keeps pushing the line, maximizing their own gain. And what happens? It backfires. Collective benefit shrinks to nothing. That's the classic prisoner's dilemma, a systemic collapse. This twisted market logic forces good people into a corner, making everyone act like a villain just to survive. Now think about those who got punished. Will chemically soaked bayberries really disappear? Those preservatives and cheap sweeteners are still floating around the market. Once the hype dies down, this practice will likely creep back into the industry, unless everyone in the supply chain is held accountable from start to finish. The cost of breaking the rules stays too low. The law doesn't scale anyone, and those treated bayberries will return. Today, you wipe out preservatives at the buying station. Tomorrow, they'll just move to a more hidden step in the transport chain. Full chain accountability, plain and simple, is a traceability system. When something goes wrong, you can find the root cause, and it lets consumers see the product's real quality. The quality matches a fair price, and that core information lines up with what buyers expect and can afford. What this society needs is a rule book that lets good people thrive and leaves bad actors nowhere to hide. On a big scale, that is what we call a good system. In China, we actually do have our own positive cases, like Pang Donglai, which is famous for its extremely strict supply chain management and open, transparent traceability system for food. Pandonglai, its core mechanisms include patented source tracing labels, multi-round cross-checking, and significant investment in random sampling inspections. Fresh products like turbot and other seafood use patented traceability labels with QR codes made from food-grade, non-toxic materials that can be certified by third-party testing and can be cooked along with the ingredients. Pandonglai spends 18 million yuan annually on food testing alone, with some supply chains requiring quality inspection reports within the last 30 days. And Pandonglai also entrusts the third-party testing institution for additional verification. While these food safety measures add extra costs are considerable, but if you look at Pandonglai's profitability, it's truly enviable. Why can't we just choose the right role model to learn from?